I hate snow. Snow is pretty, I agree, especially when it's left undisturbed. It is like the perfect world of peace, unbothered by everything. But that stuff don't last. And being pretty is not enough for the torment that it brings. This is the story of the worst snow day of my life. This story starts off with, of course, heavy snow. In Minnesota, after heavy snow, we have this thing called snow emergency. In a snow emergency, for 3 days, they tell you where you can't park your car. They do this so the big truck can come and shovel the area. On the first day, you don't actually have to do anything because on the first day, you can't park on the big street. And we live in the small streets. I only have to move my car on the second day where you can't park on the right side. That means on the third day, you can't park on the left. They do this until all the snow are cleared. At this point, I think it's good to introduce you all to my cars. We live on the right side of the street, and all our cars are also parked on the right side. We have a 2015 Toyota Sienna. This is a good car. It starts whenever I need it to. Next is the 2004 Toyota Camry and Corolla. Both of these cars are still good, but they are like small. The next car is the shittiest car I have, the 2003 Toyota Tundra. People say that this car is reliable, but I heavily disagree. So let's get back to the story. It snowed, like 10 inches. And of course, a snow emergency was declared. It was a routine at this point, so I knew what I had to do and I was ready for it. On the first day, like I said, only big lanes, so I didn't do anything. This was a big mistake. I should have just moved the car to the left side. Instead, I just shoveled the sidewalks and go on about my day. Then come the second day, and of course, I went to remove the car from the right side to the left side. And when I walked to the Toyota Sienna, I noticed something. The snow was hard, very hard. And remember, this is like 7 to 10 inches of snow. When I got into the Sienna, I was at the edge of the alleyway, and so I was barely able to get out. But I did get out and got it to the left lane. The Sienna was a success. Now the next car was not close to the alleyway. I may have drawn them close together like this, but it was more like this. There was plenty of snow for the Camry to cover. Now you may be asking, just drive the Camry to the side? Well, that answer is, I can't. You see, a snow truck had already come into the area. They shoveled the middle of the road so that cars could drive through. But the unintended effect it has is that it packed the snow on the side when it drove through. And this packed snow is way higher and way tougher for my small Camry to drive through. It was better to just drive in front of it. The Camry barely made it a few inches into the snow before it got stuck. I tried everything to get it unstuck. I shoveled in front of it to make way. It was still stuck. I drove the car back and forth, pushed the gas to give it like momentum to push through. It was still stuck. This nightmare took me almost 2 hours to unstuck it. And I was barely able to get it to the left side. Now there are only 2 cars left. The Corolla also got stuck, but unlike the Camry, it was actually close behind the car in front of it. I was able to shovel and just drive enough to make it through the mess that the Camry had already made. And I was barely able to get it to the left side. That leaves us with only the Toyota Tundra. The Tundra is a big car with 4-wheel drive, so I wasn't worried about it being stuck. And I knew it was going to be easy, so I smiled. I walked to the car, got in it, put the key in the ignition, and turned it. It cranks. Nothing. I turned it again. Nothing. The battery was dead. So now I'm like 3 hours into this whole ordeal when really it should have been like 10-minute max. I drove the Sienna to the side of the Tundra, connected the two cars with the cable, and tried to jump start it. I went back into the Tundra, put the key in the ignition, and turned it. Nothing. At this point, I was losing my mind. Why won't it start? I look up Google, cranks, but won't start. And they start listing off a myriad of issues. I was just about to give up when my dad came out at this point, and I give my dad the rundown of what might be wrong with the Tundra. Yeah, Dad, this car is but nothing I can do. But he insists. He insists it's the battery. So here I am at midnight waiting for the Toyota Tundra's batteries to charge. Cold, miserable, tired. I waited 15 minutes, tried to start, nothing. I waited another 15, nothing. On the last 15 minutes, it actually started. To this day, I still have no idea what was wrong with that Tundra. Was it the battery? Did the spark and fuel just hit right and it finally started? I don't know. I moved it to the other side and went back inside to relax. It took so long that it actually felt kinda good to get all that work done. But then I remembered. Wait, there's still 1 day left!